Tiger Tits. Welcome back to the Dragon Republic by R.F. Kuang, the second book of the Poppy War trilogy. I have a video on the first book, so if you came from there, welcome back, Trauma Buddy. If you need a refresher, check it out. We start with a little blast from the past and we get a hint. Is Nezha the next dragon shaman? And also, did the dragon just kill his little brother? Yep, the gods stay messy. Anyway, before we can unpack that trauma, boom, we're back to the present. The Cike. I feel like I did them a disservice on the first review by not introducing them properly, so here we go. The most wanted in Ikara, yes, because the Empress is coming for all of them. We have Rin, the current leader, our main character. She also goes by Atomic Rin, and my personal favorite, Open Reiner. She blasted the Federation of Mugen on the last book with the help of her god, the Phoenix. She's the only Spearling left. Alton is seemingly still dead. She carries trauma, addiction, and revenge. Baji, another shaman, he's a good guy and he cute. Sunni, monkey god, from all the Cikes, he's the one that struggles the most with controlling his god. I mean, Q2 homegirl Rin. Shanghan doesn't have a god but still very spiritual. He was Alton lieutenant and I think they had a fling. I'ma call it now. I will keep mentioning Alton because Loki, my favorite character. Also note that Shanghan has white hair. Let's ignore my illustration of him on the last video. I did him wrong. I'm sorry to this man. Kara, Shanghan's twin, and she speaks to birds, pretty cool. Unigan, another shaman, and he can transform himself in a fox. I like him. Aracha, water god, he lives in a bucket, he's water, water is him. Enki, the doctor, aka drug dealer, and finally Ramsa, youngest and makes bombs. No connection to gods either, just smelly poop bombs. An icon. That's all. We start the book still on a boat, just how we left Poppy War. The Cikes are now killing people for the Queen Pirate Moang in the hopes of getting an army to go kill the Empress. But if there is one thing you learn from watching the Pirates of the Caribbean is to never trust a pirate. Clearly, Rin didn't have a happy childhood, so she didn't watch Johnny Depp on its prime, so she trusts a pirate. There's an incident where Rin ends up close to the Empress, who's by the way taking all the credits for the Federation destruction, can't control herself and burns the town and the Alf of Unigan. Empress escapes and Enki and half-burned Unigan leaves the site. The rest of the Cike go in one last mission for the Pirate Queen but are taken hostages by no other than Vaisra, the dragon warlord, Nezha's father, Rin's in-law. I'm going to stop, this is not a romance. But he's back, guys. He has a scar and he's still nice and still beautiful. And oh, how happy he is to see Rin. I'm shipping, and we are on a ship, so it's fitting. The dragon warlord wants to ally with the Cike, overthrow the Empress and create a democracy. We like it. It sounds honestly too good to be true. They rescue Kitai from doing the Queen Pirate taxes, which is hilarious, even though he didn't exactly ask to be saved. There is still tension between Rin and Kitai because he finds it hard to believe the Empress is so evil until he finds out his dad passed under her command. So he's finally full rebellion mode. Overthrow the empire, we're on a roll. Rin starts to learn how to control her power. It's not an easy journey, but she stops using Poppy. Guys, what is this feeling? Hope? I think so. We'll be doomed, but let us enjoy this moment. It just becomes very clear that our girl really just wants to be seen. First from her teacher back home, then from Jung, Alton, and now Vaisra. Constantly looking for a place to belong. Someone to believe in her. Vaisra is trying to get the other warlords on board, but everyone seems pretty fearful. At the end of the day, the Empress is one of the Trifecta, the only one remaining. Even though Vaisra brings Atomic Ring to the equation, no one is amazed by what she did. They should be bowing down at her, but instead they just either totally ignore her or completely dismiss her as dangerous. Then they plan an attack to the Empress. Vaisra is to pretend to take Rin as a prisoner and go to meet the rest of the warlords and Daji, the Empress herself. Rin learns about the power dynamics between the warlords. They just can't agree, and then she's taken away by the Empress. Daji tells Rin she knows her plan and how she should ally with her instead. be her weapon like Alton was. We know how did that end up, ladies. She argues people don't know what they want, so how will they know how to vote? Okay, Tyron, Daji. Then Rin calls the Phoenix, but Daji and her god, the ancient Vipress, does an appearance. The Vipress works with illusions, and what does she present to Rin? Our Alton, and he kisses Rin. Damn, I'm blushing. How can I ever let that man go? And suddenly Rin hears Shanghan. Wake up, dummy, it's an illusion. Rain snaps out of it and they out. The palace is burnt. Ramsapoop bombs, baby. There's a point Rin tells Shanghan the things between her and Alton were never like that, and his answer, I know. Okay, T, how do you know that? I know, guys, the Poppy War is not a romance, blah 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 blah, but let me be. Otherwise this book is just depression in politics form. They get back to the Seagrim, their ship. Vaisra is injured but alive. They are taken to Arlong, the capital of the Dragon Province. Nezha brings them along to a tour. Rin quickly realizes they have been planning a rebellion for a long time. Then Rin meets Nezha's older brother, Jinja. He's annoying, like Nezha once was, and he dares her to show her power. Burn, baby, burn. But she can't. Something is wrong. She goes to Shanghan and he tells her Daji has sealed her power. The connection to the Phoenix. She must kill Alton Illusion, you know, the flirty one. They get back to the illusion. Alton is a hottie. How can she kill him? And then something happens and Rin is not herself anymore. She's now Shanghan, and Alton is there, and there's a vibe. And as I start to blush again, Shanghan snaps her out of it, and Rin realizes he can't help her. He just wanted to see Alton again, even if it was an illusion, even if it was someone else's illusion. He used Rin. Not cool, but also he's heartbroken. So is Rin. Our theory is confirmed. Alton is, or was, a flirt. Then Shanghan leaves and Rin hears down the corridor Venka. Oh snap, she's back. She's fierce, as we remember. She went through an abortion even if Nezha's mom didn't approve. This lady is apparently an extreme Hesperian god follower, which is sounding a lot like a Christian. Then we learned some more on politics, how the Republic is depending on the help of the Hesperians, and who comes with their fire guns the next day? The Hesperians, aka the white dudes. With Nezha Mummy and Tarket, their general. What do they want in change of considering helping beat Daji? I mean, emphasis on the considering. To steady Rin. It's not good at all, but she accepts it. We meet Petra, the second Dr. Shiro. Rin comes to the conclusion that with Daji's seal, they won't find anything, so she lets them poke her. Venka ends up joining Vaisra army. At first, Nezha rejects her. Her arm is never going to be the same, how it was broken and twisted, but Rin stands by her. She can use her bow, maybe not in the field, but from somewhere safe. Together, they convince Nezha. This relationship with Rin and Venka is giving girl power. I mean, God bless the scene guard girls. Sorry. Then the river is poisoned. We lose Aracha. It's quite brutal, the way he falls apart in Rin's arms. We also see how, even though he was a Cike, Rin only saw him as a soldier. So in death, even though he lived for the Cike, she's more upset about losing his abilities than the actual person. We didn't know much about him, really. It's cold, but hey, Rin is not faking things. It is what it is. Waterman was always in the bucket. With the river being poisoned and the cut of supplies from the north, people in the south are starving. The Cike go up the river trying to solve it. Kitai comes along. Things between him and Rin are not what it used to be, but at least he's not upset with her anymore, but with Daji. Poisoning her own people, you know, the woman has gone mental. Everything is getting out of hand. It was easier when it was Nikara's against the Federation. Now they're fighting each other. They find out what was poisoning the river. Pig's bladder. Smart. They find out whoever is behind this has been slaughtering pigs just for the bladder, so all the rest has been wasted. It's terrible as people in the south are starving. Then from the shadows the mastermind reveals itself, and it's Nyang. I didn't mention her in the first book review, but along Venka and Rin, she was the only other female student of Sinagard. Cute and soft, training to be a doctor, and once Kitai's crush. She has become what they all had become, a soldier. Kitai questions her intentions, but Nyang is hurt. When Rin released the phoenix and killed everyone in the island, she also killed Nikara people, soldiers on missions, prisoners like Nyang's two brothers. Rin didn't even realize that. It's heartbreaking, and then they fight and Kitai kills Nyang. Later alone, Kitai asks Rin how did she do it? The atomic Rin incident. Was it intentional? Was it planned? She says she just wanted it all to end, for things to be better. My little heart. This kid's just being caught up in all this mess. I'm so sorry. Back in the camping, Nezha shares that Rin, Kitai, and the Cike have been promoted. They'll be working alongside the Esperian now. Great. Rin is already being studied once a week, and now she has to face these creeps every waking hour. She's been keeping the Cike out of their loop, which is, as Rin points out, maybe one of her best decisions as their leader. Things with Shanghan are still awkward, though, but the relationship between the others seems quite good. And it's like one of the few moments we get to have a relaxing time in this book. That and Kitai questioning the size of the Esperian chorizus. Rin also learns from Petra's annotations that they think Esperians are a superior race compared to Nikara, which is as disgusting as it can be. Now, under Jinja command, they're given their first missions. They conquer this town called Radan. We get to see the Esperian missionaries spreading their God word, but under orders to keep people starving. The plan is to feed them only when they're about to vote. The option to vote is between die or republic, so easy vote. Then they reach the Ram province. Doesn't go well. The Ram warlord is not sure what's the benefit on allying to them over Daji. At this point, I agree. They fight, and who shows up to fight for them? You're not ready? The Federation. They are aligning with their former enemies. Whoa. Rin kills their warlord, and when presented with all the prisoners, she is sure the only solution is to kill them all too. To which everyone is like, whoa girl, relax. We're not like the Federation, and that's not the message we want to pass. Things get heated, and Jinja asks her to be taken away. She's fuming, but no flame because the phoenix is sealed. Thank the gods, otherwise this would be Atomic Rin all over again, this time a Nikara edition. The Cike are dismantled and we move on to Ret province, which is a bit more tricky because it's inland and it's winter. Kitai, Rin and Nezha celebrate the new year by eating tangyuan in a sweet moment before Rin finds dead bodies in the snow. As usual, no happy moment lasts more than 2 pages in this book. The Republic has to face snow and more animal parts bombs. There are terrible underwater explosions which reveal Nezha as a shaman. Yes, he unleashes his power to protect the Republic by controlling water. He begs Rin to kill him. She does what she knows best, drugs him so he can't hear the dragon god. Nezha is one of us guys, but for how long has he been a shaman? The doctor said he had episodes since he was little, so there's been a long time. He's scared, Rin is jealous, she also wants her power back. This book is heavy on war strategy. There's a lot of Jinja taking rash decisions in order to not look weak in front of Tarket, the Esperian general, so they can finally decide to fight by their side. It's such bullshit because before they fought on the Federation side without a second thought, but now they're being greedy with their warboats. To them, it's not about being in the right side, it's about profit, which is very real and so disgusting. Then there is a battle at a lake, and who shows up? Our weird skin color freaky guy, Feylen. Remember him? Well, Wind Cuckoo Mountain guy that speaks about himself as we. Scary. He's under Daji orders still, because I guess he didn't get the email about the Cike disbandment. He's messing up the wind. Rin and Kitai fall in the water. Nezha is frozen in fear. Changhan and Kara come to the rescue, but they are thrown in the water. Rin is trying to bring her and Kitai up, but they are sinking. It cuts to she waking up to Kara giving her mouth to mouth. Guys, I need more Kara. I want to know more about her and the connection she has with her twin Shanghan. I need it now. So besides the 4 of them and some missionaries, we don't know who else survived. Rin starts arguing about going back to Arlong. Shanghan calls her out for being Vaisra puppy, and then Kitai tells them to shut up. They are not alone. And then out of the bush, horse-riding warriors come out. Shanghan and Kara know them. It's their family from up north, the Katreides. We meet Sirqon Sira, the aunt and leader, and her son Bector, burned once by a spearly, and things just got so interesting. Basically, they came after Feylen because Nikara people just can't hold the god power. The Katreides have access to the pantheon but never reclaim the god. It's too dangerous. Rin does what she does best and just talks without a filter, saying they can fight Daji together. You sound just like them, Sirqon Sira says. Like who? Rin asks. Lady says, let me show you, and we in her memories. Besides them stand a young Trifecta, young Daji, the Viperess, young Dragon Emperor Raji, that looks so much like Nezha, and Jiang, our favorite lore teacher. Just he doesn't look like him at all. He's not kind or grateful for any of the teachings of the Katreides. He's greedy for power and rips the lady's daughter heart with his own hand. Jeez Louise. Then we're back at the present, and Sirqon Sira is pretty sure about killing Rin, because she's eventually will be trouble, and Rin is begging, and Shanghan is also begging, saying Rin is stable, and then she touches Rin, and she sees the seal Daji put on her, and she realizes she's afraid of you. Oh snap, Miss Daji, which changes everything, and now they'll steam Rim to break the seal. She comes back with Altan illusion hand in her chest, but it's not enough to get access to the phoenix. Now they suggest Rin to pair her soul to Kitai's soul, similar to what Kara and Shanghan have. They can balance each other, be more powerful. Their souls will be connected. If one dies, the other might too, but if together they can choose to let each other go and break the seal. So they don't necessarily need to die if one dies, so now they're twinning. But then betrayal. Bector handed the missionaries their guns in a plan to get his own mother killed. It works, and in the middle of the chaos, Kara is also shot. I just said I wanted to know more about her. Damn. Rin is throwing fire from her mouth. As Kara is leaving this world, she tells Shanghan to stay behind. It's important. Bector leaves back to the north with the promise to come back after telling everyone Rin was the one killing Sirqon Sira. Shanghan lives after him. The truth must be told. Rin and Kitai go back to Arlong. Kitai pushes Rin to practice on the way there. She manages to control it very well. Yes, she does have now full access to the Phoenix. They arrive in Arlong and are welcomed by Nezha. And Vaisra, who is acting quite cold, questions Rin if she has seen Jinja. She hasn't, since he hasn't come back. He's probably dead. Arlong is now also a place where all refugees from the south had come to. They are escaping the Federation, hunger, civil war, you name it, and Arlong is not ready. They might have prepared for war with ships and all that, but they have forgotten the people, especially the poor tanned people from the south that look a lot like Rin. She tries to find her old teacher, maybe he's there in one of the camps, but who she finds instead? Her younger brother, who she never sent a letter to since she went to Sinigard. Rin is having all kinds of mixed emotions. She doesn't feel like a Southern. She has no happy memories from the time she lived there. That's why she had left 4 years ago, and she never looked back. Then a messenger from the Empress comes. He brings dumplings. The filling ginger. Yikes. Also note, they are coming. Kitai builds Rin some wings. Yes, Phoenix personified. Rin is badass. Also, Nezha shares with Rin the dragon has eaten his brother, and it's all very painful. Rin is like them, but also get yourself together. At one point, the southern warlords propose to Rin, she being the one in charge, them betraying Vaisra, basically. And it's not like she doesn't see what they mean. It's not like she hasn't heard doubts in Vaisra by now, but she still feels like following orders is better than making the decisions. One of his orders was to kill the pirate queen, to which Rin was like, why? Let me warn her instead. So our girl has a vision, and that vision is feminist. There's also the realization that Vaisra let so many tragedies happening by the hands of the Federation, and he was just waiting up with his army to fight Daji instead. His goal was never to save the people, his goal was to rule Nikara. On the way back, Rin saves a refugee girl who's being raped by a Syrian soldier. Homegirl literally burns this guy balls. Tell me you're iconic without telling me you're iconic. The war begins and Rin does the most. Saves Nezha alive, gets Feylen stuck under a mountain of rocks and faces Daji. It's not an epic fight, it's harder than that. She shares her upbringing, the 3 kids who would become the Trifecta, who suffered under the Hesperian, Daji herself being raped by a soldier and then being saved by a Muganese soldier. That's how her vision of the world has been framed. In the end, Daji leaves, tells Rin, come find me. I'm quite looking forward to that encounter, honestly. So now we're getting to the end of the book, and I think the worst has passed. Oh boy, was I wrong. So Daji basically lost the war because the Hesperian finally agreed on joining Vaisra. They do a parade. Rin is incredibly hurt, but she plays a long Vaisra game. He orders her to kill the snake warlord who betrayed them. Rin is starting to be more and more sure that this is all wrong, and she agrees with the Cike to leave the next morning. This is a sweet moment. Baji embraces Rin when she gets so overwhelmed about the whole thing. So many people have died. Is this really winning? In the middle of the night, she is awakened by Nezha, who wants to have a drink and celebrate. Nezha, Rin, Kitai and Venka share a few bottles and it's another great moment. Nezha is very positive about the future. He's probably the only one that's positive about the future, to be honest. He mentions how he really thinks things will get better, to which the others are all like, well, there'll always be another war. Rin hugs him in the end like, please never change. And I was like, can we end the book like this? Where is the end? I need those 2 little words. Can we agree on ending the books here? Can we all, please?
Yes!
So what happens next just crushes me deeply and I want to lay down. Kitai and Venka. I'm also very emotional right now, guys, because I'm on my period. Is that time of the month that I always relate to Rin on the first book. Kitai and Venka leave earlier before dawn, but Rin stays behind with Nezha. They go to see the fucking lights on the port, and Nezha asks Rin about her shaman army she mentioned before. She's like, hell yeah. He tells her the Hesperians agreed on helping if the Republic agrees on ending with the shamans. Rin can never use her powers again, to which she says, oh fuck that, to which Nezha just stabs her, like literally, guys, I'm not well. When she wakes up, she's locked up somewhere. Outside she sees Baji and Sunny being executed in front of everyone by Vaisra. Guys, then Vaisra, a witch wife, comes in, says some shit about it was all supposed to make Nezha heal. Sure, crazy lady, sure. Then Vaisra and Tarket come in, and Vaisra has not only no more use for her, literally use her as a puppet, but he'll now give her to the Hesperians to do whatever they want. She's begging, she's crying, I'm crying. And as they leave, Rin drops the bomb. What will you do with your son then? He's a shaman. Actually, you were the one planning him to be a shaman. Throwing him in the dragon cave, you psycho. Dump Tarket is surprised but doesn't insist, and they leave. Then Kitai comes to the rescue. She breaks both her hands in the process, one of them probably forever. Ramsa sacrifices himself. Guys, the Cike, they're all gone. They're gone. There's no Cike anymore. We lost so many good characters in this book. Kitai and Rin get on a boat. Who else is there? Venka, she's one of us, and turning to be the best character. As they leave quietly on down the river, they see a figure watching them. I don't even want to say his name. I don't even want to talk about him. Nezha pisses me off. He lets them go, whatever. Then they join the pirate queen. That's how the book ends. Rin knowing they are coming for them, and she knowing she can beat everyone else. Yes, queen. And that's the Dragon Republic. This book is basically politics, betrayal, grief, repeat. No jokes. This trilogy is just trauma stacked on trauma. I liked it. Similar to the Poppy War, I feel like there's always something happening which is great but also exhausting. It's getting quite clear not only Rin will die, but now also Kitai, which is sad. He's my favorite character, and his friendship with Rin is honestly the only thing keeping her afloat. Who is she besides vengeance if not Kitai's bestie? Everyone else sees her as a weapon. One of my favorite moments was the happy friendship moments between Rin, Kitai, Venka and Nezha, and that's all spoiled because Nezha is the worst character ever. How could he? Anyways, love the book. Maybe even more than the first one. I feel like the points that the author takes on refugees is so important, especially in today's day. So I also appreciate that. Yeah, guys, thank you. Thank you so much for watching. As always, like and subscribe. Leave a comment on your thoughts on the book and my review, and I'll see you soon. Bye!